For decades, the rivalry between Iran and Israel has fueled tensions in the Middle East. But in recent weeks, the discord has never been so intense. A regional conflict is even being considered. But how do the two armies compare? And who have the best chances of winning? That's what we'll explore by examining the different aspects that determine the strength of each country. Let's get started. Israel and Iran have not always been sworn enemies. Before the Islamic Revolution of 1979, Iran was a strategic ally of Israel. But just 6 days after the revolution began, Yasser Arafat, the leader of the Palestine Liberation Organization, became the first foreign dignitary to meet with Ayatollah Khomeini and the interim government in Tehran. A few hours later, the country severed diplomatic relations with Israel. However, things are not as simple as they seem. In fact, Iran quickly accepted military support from Israel. Thus, during the early years of the Iran-Iraq War, the Hebrew state provided various forms of military assistance to Iran through intermediaries. But in the 1980s and 90s, both Israel and the United States accused Iran of being involved in a series of deadly bombings, which the country denied. On its part, Iran claimed that Israel was behind the assassination of several Iranian nuclear scientists. Later, throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Iran played a significant role in supporting Hamas, and then Hezbollah, both sworn enemies of the Hebrew state. Since then, the ties between Israel and Iran have been completely severed. But why have the disputes between the two countries become so intense in recent months? The tensions between the two regional rivals have intensified since the beginning of the war in Gaza on October 7, 2023. On that day, Iran's supreme leader praised what he called a devastating earthquake for Israel, referring to the Hamas attack. On its part, Israel quickly declared that Iran was likely involved in these events, which Iran denies. Instead, Israel and Western powers believe that the country supplies weapons, ammunition, and training to Hamas. Subsequently, on April 1, 2024, a bombing targeted the Iranian consulate in Damascus, Syria, killing several Iranian military commanders. Israel was then accused of being behind the attack, which the country neither confirmed nor denied. In retaliation, on April 13, 2024, Iran decided to attack the Hebrew state. Israeli army spokesman Daniel Hagari then declared that Iran had launched more than 200 drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles. He added that Israel's defense system and its allies in the region had intercepted many of them. However, one person was injured, and a military base was damaged. Subsequently, Israeli Army Chief of Staff Lieutenant Colonel Herzi Halevi stated that his country would respond to the attack but did not provide further details. However, a poll conducted by the Hebrew University revealed that nearly 3/4 of the Israeli public oppose a retaliatory attack against Iran. For his part, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, praised the successes of the armed forces. He added that there would be no further attacks, but warned of possible consequences if Israel decided to retaliate. Thus, even though the attack did not cause significant casualties, it demonstrated Iran's ability to strike from a distance. Concerns are then growing in Israel. But who is stronger, Israel or Iran? Israel is over 2,100 kilometers away from Iran. The latter is much larger, with a population of 89 million inhabitants, nearly 9 times that of the Hebrew state and its 10 million inhabitants. Moreover, there are about 6 times more soldiers in service in Iran than in Israel, with 600,000 active soldiers compared to 170,000. But would that be enough to win a war? To answer this question, the International Institute for Strategic Studies, also known as IISS, compared the military strength of the two countries using a variety of official methods and open sources to produce the best possible estimates. It should be noted that the IISS is considered the benchmark for assessing the military power of different countries. First, the budget of the two countries was analyzed. While defense spending represents 4% of GDP on the Israeli side, it is 2% on the Iranian side. Thus, Iran's defense budget is about $7.4 billion compared to the $19 billion for Israel. The fact that the Hebrew state spends more on its defensive budget gives it a significant advantage in any potential conflict. Israel's defense spending relative to its GDP is also twice that of Iran. Next, the military arsenals of the two countries were analyzed. On the Air Force side, Israel has 340 military aircrafts ready to fight. This includes long-range F-15s, which are among the most advanced aircraft in the world. It also has F-35s, which are high-tech stealth aircrafts capable of evading radar, as well as fast attack helicopters. On its side, Iran has about 320 combat-capable aircrafts, including F-4s, F-5s, and F-14s, the latter made famous in the 1986 film Top Gun. This aircraft was retired by the US Navy nearly 20 years ago. Moreover, according to several experts, it is difficult to know how many of these old Iranian planes can actually fly, especially since it is extremely difficult to obtain spare parts. With a larger quantity of aircrafts and more recent and cutting-edge technology, Israel has an advantage in precision airstrikes. If a conflict occurs, it is therefore unlikely that Israel would venture into a ground war with Iran. On the naval side, Iran's fleet is also aging, with about 220 ships. Israel, on the other hand, has only about 60. Israel's advantage is that it is believed to possess its own nuclear weapons. However, the country remains very secretive about this. On its side, Iran does not have nuclear weapons, although it has significant ambitions in this area. But Israel is especially known for its Iron Dome system, a short-range missile defense system that forms the backbone of Israeli defense. In fact, it was this system that destroyed almost all of the missiles and drones that Iran had fired at Israel. However, is this enough to stop all Iranian missiles? It should be noted that Iran's missile program is considered the most extensive and diverse in the Middle East. Indeed, the country is believed to possess more than 3,000 ballistic missiles. The country has been working on its missile systems and drones for several decades. In recent years, it has been noted that progress has been made, particularly with some of Iran's long-range missiles, which greatly concerns the Hebrew state. A final advantage for Israel is its proximity to its allies. The United States, the most powerful military in the world, is known for its closeness to the Hebrew state. On several occasions, Joe Biden, President of the United States and a great ally of Israel, has even stated that he would do everything to protect the security of the Hebrew state. In fact, to deter Iran from attacking, 2 American aircraft carriers, the USS Gerald R. Ford and the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, along with a force of over 15,000 sailors, have been sent to the Mediterranean. However, the Hebrew state faces a significant challenge: cyber attacks. Since Iran's defense system is less technologically advanced than Israel's, an electronic assault on the Israeli army could have far more significant effects. Moreover, in recent months, the intensity of cyber attacks is reportedly higher than ever, according to the Israeli government's National Cyber Directorate. Thus, 3,380 cyber attacks reportedly took place between the attacks of October 7th and the end of 2023. On its side, the head of the Iranian Civil Defense Organization, Brigadier General Gholam Reza Jalali, stated that Iran has foiled nearly 200 cyber attacks in 1 month, but that one cyber attack had disrupted gas stations across the country. It is clear that determining who is stronger between Iran and Israel is a complex task, as it depends on many factors and different perspectives. However, on a military level, Israel has technological superiority and a more modern arsenal. Its close ties with the United States is also a real advantage. However, Iran continues to surprise the world, notably with its increasingly dangerous missiles and a very large army. What do you think? Who is stronger, Israel or Iran?